Welcome to the world of Outriders. If you're new to Enoch, then this video is just for you. Don't forget to sub to the channel if this video helped you out. Now, let's see who you can be after the anomaly changed you forever. After the anomaly, humans awoken different and powerful. You'll have the option to become one of 4 classes in Outriders. If you enjoy being right in the enemy's face, then the Devastator is what you're looking for. Naturally, having more HP and shields than any other class, the Devastator is perfect for those who want to tank. But they aren't just there to be a meat shield either. Devastators can also control the battlefield with gravity and earth-based abilities that interrupt enemies and cause a bleeding dot. Healing is easy for this class. Any enemy that is slain nearby will grant HP back. So, future Devastators, make sure you have the most enemies near you, and you will be very hard to kill. Boasting some of the coolest powers in the game, you'll know a Devastator when you see one. They can fly through the sky and slam down on unsuspecting enemies and deal massive damage using their gravity leap ability. Breaking narration real quick, but tell me this doesn't look like a Destiny Titan Slam. They didn't even try and hide that. Pair that with the Endless Mass ability, which calls a spinning obelisk which pulls enemies closer, with your Impale ability, and the Devastator can really clean up the enemies. The skill trees will allow you to hone in more of what you would like to do, with major and minor passive bonuses for tanking or killing. The 3 skill trees of the Devastator are Vanquisher, which is for up close and personal attacks, the Warden, to be the ultimate tank, and Seismic Shifter, for mid-range combat, which will add anomaly damage to boost the abilities like Impale. The Devastator is no joke. If you love to Leroy Jenkins in the combat, look no further. If you like playing the stealthy assassin class, the Trickster is who you should be looking at. The Trickster focuses on space and time powers to confuse and kill their enemies. Their AoE melee attack stuns and slows enemies, which makes for a good crowd control as well. Like the Devastator, the Trickster heals when enemies are killed nearby, but Tricksters also gain minor shields as well. This allows the Trickster to play as an off-tank for your group if you don't have a Devastator with them. When it comes to their abilities, Tricksters will be the ones teleporting around the battlefield, slowing and stunning all the enemies. Tricksters use abilities such as Slow Trap to create a dome to slow all the enemies inside of it, besides themselves and their teammates. It's like a group bullet time, if you will. Then they can use Borrow Time to instantly gain shield and create a time clone the player can tele back to. Think Tracer from Overwatch here. And to get around enemy forces, Tricksters use Hunt the Prey, which will instantly tele them to the targeted enemy, gaining shields and stunning that enemy. The first of the 3 skill trees is Master of Space, which will provide bonuses while the players are moving and damage buffs to close combat. Harbinger, which is the tank path, will provide bonus to shields. And the Assassin skill tree, which will up skill damage output by giving you additional anomaly power and skill leech options. If you're looking to be the space assassin of Outriders and you want to deal huge damage and provide your team with support from slows and stuns, then the Trickster is for you. The Pyromancer is a mid-range slow-moving AoE damage dealer with a focus on thermal and fire abilities. Who would have thought? Their melee attack deals fire damage to anyone it hits, along with any other ability that they use. It'll mark the enemies, and when the Pyromancer or a teammate finishes them, the Pyromancer will be healed. When it comes to their powers, the Pyromancers are actually equipped with dealing with enemies at a very close range. The use of Ash Blast will freeze all targets within range, and then the Pyromancer can cast Heat Wave to instantly melt and burn their enemies to a crisp. So if you're in a bit of a bind and need to heal quickly, these 2 abilities together will instantly repair your health. If you're waiting for a huge powerful ability too, you're in luck. Thermal Bomb will set a single enemy ablaze, and if that enemy dies while under the effect, the enemy will levitate into the air and explode, dealing even more AoE damage. The first of the 3 skill trees for the Pyromancer is Ashbreaker, which will provide bonus while dealing damage against marked enemies, with a boosted anomaly power. And then there is Firestorm, which will maximize damage outputs of skills, like burning damage and skill damage to marked enemies. And then there is the Tempest, which is the tanky role. I'm not sure if it's meant to be an actual tank or provide more survivability, but it does maximize HP bonuses and reduce certain damage types. The Pyromancer is going to be perfect for you arsonists out there, and players who just want to cause massive amounts of chaos and damage. And who wouldn't want someone like that in their party fighting along them in Enoch? Big guns are a huge part of Outriders, and the Technomancer gets the biggest. Causing brutal damage with snipers and assault rifles, Technomancers can also control the flow of combat with stuns and interrupts. Their melee is also a stun, but it looks more like stasis from Destiny. The Technomancer heal is quite different from other classes as well. They gain HP according to a % of the damage done, so make sure you're using every bullet possible. Now, the best part about the Technomancer is their powers. The Technomancer has the ability to summon various weapons, such as with the Tools of Destruction ability, which will either summon a rocket launcher that interrupts enemies, or if you hold the button down, summons a machine gun to barrage your enemies with bullets. Even better, they can summon an automated defense missile launcher with Pain Launcher, and even an automated turret with the Blighted Turret ability. The Technomancer also has a crowd control ability, Cold Snap, which will freeze all the enemies around him. Very handy when mixing with the turret to finish off the enemies. The most unique ability that we know of right now in Outriders belongs to the Technomancer too. It's called Fixing Wave, and this support ability will heal yourself as well as your teammates at any distance. This is going to be huge, and I can see it being a cornerstone ability to keep your team alive. As for the 3 skill trees, the first one is Pestilence, which increases damage with guns like snipers and assault rifles. And then there is the Tech Shaman tree, which focuses on indirect damage bonuses, like your turrets, heals, and freeze abilities. And then there is the Demolisher tree, which will give you tons of bonuses and buffs for using your ordnance and gadget skills. The Technomancer boasts the biggest weapons and one of the best heals in the game. Are you really gonna pass that up? The 4 classes of Outriders are all awesome in their own way, but the true magic comes from the players and how they will customize them to make them unique. I roughly only mentioned 4 of the abilities for each class, as the other 4 are still unknown. As a side note, mods will also affect your builds, shortening cooldowns and adding bonuses. This might alter playstyles dramatically for certain classes, but the core mechanics of each are what you should be looking at. Enoch is going to be a brutal challenge, so make sure you know how you want to deal with the enemies there. Again, sub to the channel if you found this video helpful, as I will be posting more about Outriders. Stick around for some more videos coming up, and until next time, peace.